I'm happy with that. Where are you, lovely people? Okay, and we'll come back to this. Right, so welcome everybody to LinkedIn for Breakfast. Fantastic to see you here. Sorry if the audio or the visual is not exactly how it normally is. I'm away, as I mentioned to other people, but we're talking about the LinkedIn feature section. I think, and actually judging by the chat before we started recording, where lots of people are saying what they've done or haven't done in the features section, it's probably one of the most underutilized parts of LinkedIn. And so we thought we'd do a special session today, just looking at it and exactly the two most important things to have in the featured section and why, the strategy behind it, how to do it, and a tool to help you hopefully create it. Although I'll tell you a story about how that has been the bane of my life. But I'll be talking about that and showing you and giving you that free tool halfway through the session. So do still lock yourself in for that. Right. So what are we doing here? So before I start, let me just give you guys the kind of normal update on why are we doing this LinkedIn for breakfast stuff. And really, oh, hang on, I can just hear myself going off 2 seconds. There we go, good stuff. So why do we do this LinkedIn for breakfast stuff? Well, our whole mission here is to make this a place where we want entrepreneurs to be able to unlock the full potential of LinkedIn as a powerful tool for both business development and brand expansion. So what is that? That is basically getting more people to know you, awareness of your thought leadership, what you talk about, what you are all about. And the second part is the brand expansion piece, sorry, the business development piece, which is then the getting the inbox pinging with inquiries, leads. So we want people to know you, and then we want people to inquire about your services. That's the two things that we really want to double down on. My bias is always around that lead generation marketing piece. And so that's what we do today. Today is going to be very much aligned around that business development piece, that getting inquiries into your diary. Our vision for this is to make this the best place on earth to learn LinkedIn for free. And thank you, because there's a few people who've been tagging other people into my posts recently saying, oh, you should come along to this. And I would hope that, and I'd love you all to recommend us because we give away loads of free stuff. There is nothing, there is no pitch here. I'm not going to tell you my life story and flog you a £15,000 course, right? This is free training, and we want you to actually take the stuff that I talked to you about today and in the next hour implement it so your profiles are going to generate you leads, not this week, not next week, but for the continuation of time, you're going to be generating leads from your profile using the things that we're going to be putting together today. Right, so bear with me. So here we go. So in terms of the LinkedIn featured section, let me just show you straight away. Let's jump straight into LinkedIn and just give you a clue. And let me just escape out of this. Oh, yeah, sorry. Flora's going to tell me off again. You can tell that I'm not in my normal space. If you have not joined our linked free community, in here is all of the replays, all of the free tools that we do, all of the stuff that you can go and generate more momentum, not just with the feature section, but the other stuff. So Flora probably has put the link to this. Have you put the link to? Yes, look at this. Join the free Link to Breakfast community. So click on this link here, ask to join this community. It is totally free, so jump into there and enjoy the classroom with all the courses that we've got in here, the calendar of events and the live pod, and our great community talking and interacting with people. Do jump into that. Right, good stuff. So what is the LinkedIn features section? So if you jump into your profile and actually have a little look at it, it's the thing that sits on the side. The thing that sits at the bottom here. If you scroll down through your profile, you can see here featured, right? And it's only a small slice of your profile. This sort of slice here, let me just minimize my screen here. This little slice here is only here, and you can have up to 5 things pinned here, but we recommend only 2, and I'll tell you why in a second. And it sits below your about section. And then ultimately, if you're viewing this when you're not viewing it as yourself, people viewing this for themselves, they wouldn't be able to see the analytics side here because obviously that's for me. So you're only going to see this header, this top bit, this banner, and this headline. So you'll scroll down to see the about section. And then the next thing that you'll see is the features section, unless you've pinned services above it. Now, I'm not a great believer in the services section. The reason why is if you actually go and click around in your services section, what you'll find is LinkedIn will direct the user to other people who also are offering the same services to you. So it's almost linking to your competitors, which I think is a bit of a crap thing to do. So we actually remove it. So we just get straight into the feature section. The reason why is that we want to be able to pin these two call to actions. Now, if you do not have a features section, the place that you go and put this in is you go to the top here, go add profile section here, click on this, and then you've got these different things that you can see. So you can see here, you can go through and look at the core pieces, and it will give you things like education, position, etc. The recommended pieces, which is things like featured, and then license and certificates and all the rest of it, and then additional stuff, which is things like your honors, awards, etc. Now, my recommendation to you is actually really look at each one of these and think, well, can I be adding stuff in? Have I published a book and I forgot to put this into a publication? Have I published an ebook and I haven't put that into publications? There's lots of different things that you could think about and add in to enrich your profile. But today, I would say this is one of the key elements. So you go add featured, and then you'd go into this section here, which gives you the control over all the different things that you can add into those featured sections, right? So if you wanted to, you can press the plus button here and you can add a number of elements into that feature section, right? So you can add links to posts that have been popular. You can add links to your newsletter. You can add an article. You can add a link, an outbound link to somewhere else like landing pages and websites, etc., even calendar bookings. You can add media such as images, and then you can also add content from your profile, such as testimonials from other people that might be in your recommended section, right? So it gives you a whole variety of options. Now, the mistake, my pedigree chums, here is that most people will go and pile as many things into here as possible because they're like, oh, I've got this great post that I've just published, and I've got this really great testimonial that I want to get up on here, and I need to get my newsletter up on here, and I've got this really great picture of me speaking on a stage, and I want to chuck that in there. And what happens is when you add these things, so if I go and add a post, and let's just go and find this post, and I'm going to add this post to my features section now, and I'm just going to go, I think I might have already done that. Did I go feature on top of profile? So I can add this. I then go to my features section, scroll down, and look what's happened. So I had I had two nice big call to actions, didn't I, in my features section. Now I've got three posts that have been embedded here, and look what's happened. Everything's just got smaller. So my big call to action here has got smaller. This is a post that I featured here, but look, I can only see like the top two little small bits of line. So I'm not like, well, what actually is this? And it's packed it in. So if I'm scrolling through my profile and I see that I've got these things in here, then it just is falling into the noise because it's not showing up any more prominent than a few of these suggestions on the right hand side, or even the posts that I've got below here, right? And if I go and add another thing, like go and add a piece of content from my profile, and I go, what if I go and add something let's a recommendation, right? So a client has recommended me. I can go and add Gina's very kind recommendation here, and I can press featured. I can go to James, I'll press featured, and I go, oh, those are three nice featured sections, right? And then I go back. I then refresh, and look what's happened. Now my feature section has got three like posts that are sitting in here, and now I've got to go and scroll to the right to go and look at everything else. And what's happened here is just turning into a messy, weird old thing, right? It really is, isn't it? So am I seeing anything? Is it catching my eyes? It's the scroll test, right? We all are scrolling, and I scroll through this and I go, is this catching my eyes? No. So what I would recommend to you is don't do that. Have just two call to actions because it makes them bigger. And I'm going to try and remove these now. And hopefully, as I go and edit my thing, you'll be able to see what I mean. So removing and remove. And one more to remove here. Remove Gina's kind testimonial. And so now I've got just my newsletter and a call to action, right? And so let's head on back to the features section. So I scroll down, and can you see how much bigger both images are now? So they are now the biggest thing on my profile. You got your header banner, and you scroll down, and the next piece of large design becomes your features section. And when you kind of compare that to other stuff, it will help you to prevent the scrolling. Um, and now, once you do it, you can say, right, you go to this and you'll see this is a call to action for someone to go and join something. So I see that you should have two things, just two things in your feature section. One should be a call to action to drive someone into some sort of email list, community, download, sign up, something where you are generating the lead. If you do not have that, it could be an event, sign up, then you don't have the most important part of marketing, which is a lead generation asset, a tripwire, a info swap, something where someone is going to swap their email address in exchange for some value from you. Massively important. Could even be like a free, 30-minute consultation. But whatever it is, it's got to be your big call to action. And then the second part is your LinkedIn newsletter. Why is your LinkedIn newsletter really, really important? Even if you haven't done one, it's because this is the only thing on LinkedIn that you can click on this feature section that's got a one-click subscribe. Look at this. So that button, you see how that button is a one-click subscribe. So that's a one-click lead generator. Anything else, if I want to go to this link and I've got to press here, and then it's going to show me this up and I've got to press it again, and it's going to drive me to a landing page. And from my perspective, it takes us to our free group. And then from there, you've got to ask me for my email address and phone number. That is a number of different clicks. Now, it is important to have those clicks because obviously we want to generate those leads, but it is a journey. There is a set of clicks to be able to get there. And so you may well lose people in the clicks. A LinkedIn newsletter is a one-click subscribe. Now, this is vital because if we click on our LinkedIn newsletter and we go and have a look at it, only I can see this thing that's in, oh, hello, let's not go too big, this thing that's in this blue text here. Weekly, so how many subscribers that I've got, so 3,500 subscribers, and I can click on this and I can see who has subscribed, right? So then once I can see who subscribed, I can then go and check them out. So I can go and have a look at Catherine here. I can go right click, open new tab. I can see that she's someone that might be, she's a coach. She's someone that could potentially be someone that, we might be able to work together to be able to help. Great. Now, would I have known who she was and would I have ever known that she hit my profile if it wasn't for this newsletter? And the answer is no, because she's a second degree connection and she has not sent me a connection request. So Catherine has come onto my profile. She is potentially a member of my audience. She is potentially someone that I'd want to connect with, but she has not proactively tried to do that connection request. And because she hasn't proactively tried to do that connection request, I would never have known that she had come onto my profile unless I'm looking at that people who viewed your profile. And if you've got the free version of LinkedIn, you can only see like the last 3 people who viewed your profile. And so you've never seen that. And I would not know what her temperature is in terms of how interested she is with me, because her saying, yes, she wants to subscribe to my newsletter is her putting her hand up and says, I am interested in your content. Now, Catherine, if you're on this call, I do apologize because I don't know exactly the amount of people that are on this call, so I do apologize. But if you are on this call, welcome to the newsletter, and I do apologize for using you as an example. But she did not send me a connection request. This is the most important thing. And therefore, I would not know that she was actually interested, but she did subscribe to my newsletter. So what's my next job? I'm going to go into here and I'm going to then have a look and say, yep, she looks like someone of interest. I'm going to then send a connection request to her. So I'm going to press connect. I'm going to add a note and I'm going to say, hi, just make sure that that is how she spells it. Where is I think it was. Yeah, I can't actually see her name, but I think it was Catherine. Okay. Thank you for subs. LinkedIn newsletter. How are things in this? So I'm just going to show you this longhand. Let's just make, right. So the whole point of this, oh, there we go. So what I'm saying here is thank you for subscribing to my LinkedIn newsletter. So essentially, you've made the first move, you've subscribed. The second piece is I'm not trying to then go, and do you want to buy something? I'm going, how are things in this crazy world? The whole point of that is that I'm trying to create a conversation. Now, the likelihood of her accepting my connection request is extremely high because she's been on my profile and subscribed to my newsletter. So my credibility with LinkedIn is going to go far higher because I get a higher percentage rate of people connecting with my requests. So therefore, I shows that I've got a trusted profile. So that's a bonus for me. And also it's great because we'll probably get this connection. The second thing is that I'm not trying to do anything other than just open up conversation and saying, hey, you subscribe to my newsletter, but I'm not going to ask you for anything. I'm just going to say, how are you? And then once the conversation starts, then we can transition into and yeah, how I, you subscribe to the newsletter, was there anything you were looking for, or what do you think of the latest, article, or what's your curiosity and lead generation, whatever it is, right? You can just go through that conversation flow, and then hopefully that will lead into a conversation, right, or a meeting. So this is how you would then work this. And so now what we're doing is we've not just generated a lead, but we've also then followed up a lead, all because of having a LinkedIn newsletter. And so that's why it is vital to have that as part of your features section script. Now, if you don't know about how to set up a LinkedIn newsletter and what that works, again, go into the classroom of our LinkedIn for Breakfast, scroll down to, where is it? Here, LinkedIn newsletters. And I've got a full training here on how you actually go and do a LinkedIn newsletter. So tell you what, let me just copy and paste that into the chat. And you can have a little bit of a play with this. Here we go, meeting chat. Bam, into the newsletter. Cool. And so that's how you would work that, the features section and the newsletter section. Let me just get rid of this. Sorry. There we go. Working on one screen is very hard to drive whilst you're doing this. So then the next part is this call to action. Now, there's a few things here that are important. So you see how the branding is very consistent across the two. There's a reason for that. It's because I want it to feel aligned to the header banner, scroll down to the features section, and it's aligned. Also in the header banner, can you see that I've got the same call to action in my header banner as I have within my big call to action on the features section, right? And when we go and look at this, get rid of these notifications so you can actually see. I think it's me just constantly subscribing to my own newsletter. Okay, good. So
okay.
this header banner, you can see here how it references the feature section. So LinkedIn for Breakfast, free place to grow your business and brand on LinkedIn. And then scroll down to my feature section for join link. So we've got a call to action on the header banner because you can't click on the header banner. You can't actually do anything other than send a message. And so what we want to do is we want to drive the views down. So we've gone call to action header banner, scroll down. And then you can actually see there's a secondary call to action in the top of my about section. So before I get into anything about the about section, I'm actually referencing free LinkedIn for Breakfast community in my feature section. So I'm reinforcing the scroll down to the feature section message from the header into this about section. And then from there, I then go straight into this. So we're driving people down into this call to action, and then people are clicking on it, and we're driving that traffic into our lead generation piece, our community, our download, our event, etc. They're super important, and it really helps to align your profile. And the beauty of it as well, gang, is that it just allows you to know that when someone hits your profile, it's optimized for conversion. It's like a landing page and it's optimized for conversion, and it's all about that feature section. So if we look at this, so if we look at profile views, at 3,500 profile views to my profile, that's 3,500 people that are going to be pushed down this journey. And the hope is that we'll be able to convert a percentage of those into actually generating leads. Not only that, we also have are impressions from our content. So if you are creating content that's driving impressions, and so say we look at this one here and we just check out the analytics, if you got a post that's doing well, so say this one's got 33,000 impressions, what that means is that we're driving profile views from this post, right? So if you get a post that's doing well, this post has generated 234 people that have hit my LinkedIn profile. Now, if my LinkedIn profile was just set up like a glorified CV, well, is that going to be serving me as well as if it was set up for conversion? So you can see that this volume of people is actually going to be pushed down into either going into my free community or signing up to my LinkedIn newsletter. So I always see the LinkedIn newsletter as like the really easy, quick win lead generator. So that's going to be great for that. And then of course the follower, the joining my community is the stronger, the harder one because you're asking people to do more. So that's where you want to have both there that are working for you because someone might do one and not the other, right? And so that's where these pieces come in. And of course, if you are using premium as well, you might also be able to have your custom button on your profile. And so what do I mean by custom button is when you're actually creating content, we can see here, is it on the newsletter? I think it's just on posts. No, that's a bad example. Let me just go back to my profile. So if you look on any post with a custom button, you can see here, visit my website, visit my website, visit my website, right? So that's what the custom button means. So when a post does well, you have this button here, and then that button also could be driving people back to the same call to action. So everything's aligned. So although, with 33,000 views on this post, there is only 11 people that have hit the custom button, but there's also 234 that have hit my profile, and my profile is also built for lead generation. And so the question to you guys is that, yes, fine, it's a good post, it's done well, but what if we got 10% of these? So we got 23 leads from here and 11 leads from here. So that's 33 leads that you would have got from one post by getting these assets set up. And so if you think about 33 leads, we know within our way of working that we need 30 leads to create one booking, well, to create 3 bookings that convert into one sale. So from those 33 leads, we probably will generate a client. And so this one post with this structure is worth one client. And so that's where you want to be able to look at the numbers, you want to be able to put these pieces in place and understand how it works. Cool. So that's the theory. So we really want you to help you with that. Now, here's the implementation. We've created, or I've created, a bit of a GPT that helps you to actually generate the images, like the one that you can see on here, for this. Okay, so this comes, and I can't tell you. Let me have a look at you, lovely people. I can't tell you how much of a pain in the bum this thing was, and actually, it's still a little bit buggy. So what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you 2 different versions. One is a GPT that's there to try and design all of it in one hit. So you just give the details of what you want in terms of the text, and it's going to try and generate all 3 of the assets: the header banner, the newsletter thumbnail, and also the call to action. Now it has worked and it's been brilliant. It's been like a piece, it's like a Picasso. It's just beautiful. And then sometimes it's completely buggy and doesn't work. So I'm going to give you that one to have a play with, but I've also now in the process of breaking it out into 3 different ones because I think the problem is it's the sizing that GPT kind of has a bit of a brain malfunction on. And so I'm creating a separate header banner GPT AI tool, a separate featured section call to action one, and a separate newsletter thumbnail GPT. So you've got all 3. Now I'm on holiday at the moment, and I do love doing this stuff. But I've done the newsletter banner one of the separate ones, and then I've still got to work on the other 2. So we will get those to you within the community. But I'm going to give you the newsletter. Sorry, I'm going to give you the header banner as a separate GPT because that's done, and I'm going to give you the one that's all 3 that you might get lucky and it all works, right? So that comes with a caveat. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Look, you're not paying anything, so I've I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying my hardest, guys. Um, so here we go. Right. So have a play with this is the just the header banner GPT. So I'm going to copy this link into here and uh, have a play with this one. So this is just header banner. And so the whole point of this is going to create a nice header banner with the call to action to scroll down to the featured section to find out more. And then this one here, which is the one that I thought was perfect before I was testing it before today's call and I had a panic attack because wasn't perfect. But look, it worked a couple of days ago. So let's see. Have a try with this. So this is for all in one. This is the one that I want. It's worth keeping this one because that's the one I'm going to keep on trying to perfect. So you just put like 4 things in and it spits out the 3 images straight off the bat. But let's let's see how you get on. So those are the two there. And ultimately, gang, the whole point of this is you could easily just go onto my profile. Um, and if you want a kind of a hack way of doing this, go find the thing that you want and just go and copy the image of actually what you like, put it into a GPT, and then you could try and work through a bit of the chat yourself. So you could actually just paste it into there and say, I want one like this, but here is my text and my header image. And so you could try it that way. The reason why I wanted to create a custom GPT is there's a little bit of kind of extra instructions that we try and put in there, such as don't have it. What you do on the header banner is you don't want to have you see the text here for her. She hasn't got the text on this part of the banner because she's got the profile photo that actually overlays on there. So you want to make sure it's there. You want to make sure it's got. So for her, she's got keywords in here, but there's no call to action, right? So that she's just reinforcing what she does in her headline. So although this looks nice, there is no call to action in here. There's no like download my thing, scroll down to my feature section to find out more. Versus mine, which is a bit plainer, but it's you can go and join our free community to grow your business and brand on LinkedIn, scroll to my feature section, right? And so those are the things that I wanted to enforce on there, right? Now the GPT will not modify, but it will crop your photo as well for you. So if you upload a photo to it, it will also do the nice cropping, etc. So don't worry if it's a busy photo of you in a pub or wherever. It will crop it so you can look like you're sitting there, standing there with a cup of tea and a text, etc. And it's also text. You can make sure you can say, look, I want it all in capitals or what have you, and it will do that for you. Good. Cool, gang. So hopefully that helps. I'm going to take some questions now, but just as a kind of a quick recap, do remember banner, call to action, feature section with a link out to a lead generator. Make sure you got a LinkedIn newsletter. It's vital. If you want to have a chat with us about your LinkedIn profile and also get some help from my team, I run a set of VAs that are actually doing all of this stuff and also then sending out connection requests, generating leads, allowing you to be able to grow on LinkedIn without actually having to do all the clicking the button stuff. We offer a free LinkedIn profile audit. So essentially what we do, we'll audit your profile. We'll show you some of these things. We'll bounce some of these ideas off that you might have heard today with one of our experts. And in that LinkedIn profile audit, you'll get step-by-step instructions on how to improve it. Not just this section, but things like your experience, your about section, your recommendations. And then at the end, if you're curious about how we might help you to be able to kind of outsource this whole LinkedIn stuff for basically £5 an hour, like super inexpensive, then our team can help you take you through that. And that'll be how we can help you going forward. But it's not about that today. But if you did want to take us up on this, let me just give you the link for it. Why can't I find this? Let me give you, here we go, LinkedIn profile audit. Here we go. You can tell normally I have all these things up and ready, silly me. Right, so in the chat there, it's totally free. it's a and you can see here, look, we look at your headline effectiveness, your photo, your banner, you maximizing your recommendations, lead generation, looking at your experience. There's limited spaces. There's a few left this week. Let's have a look. How many have we got for tomorrow? There's only 1 o'clock, and then Friday. So there's only 2 slots left this week. And then what have we got next week? We got a little bit on Tuesday by the looks of it, but not many. Only 4 on Monday. So look, there's 63 of you currently on this live call, and people still kind of joining it. So act quickly if you want one of those spaces, particularly this week, and get your profile audited. Paul very kindly says it's definitely worth doing. Really good. Bless you. Thank you, Paul. Okay, so I'm going to take some questions now. Do jump in and just do that. Let me just put that link in there one more time for you to jump in to book your LinkedIn profile audit totally for free. And I can go and take questions. Now, as I do this, if you've got a question, use the heart button, use that raise hand, and line it up like that because it's so much easier for me to see and then talk to you about your question because I've got multiple tabs open. I've only got a small screen today. So that would really help me out. Oh, Meggie did her audit. Fantastic. That's really good. Great stuff. And Nikki has hers on Monday. So that's great. So I'm looking forward to your audit as well, Nikki. Claudia, excellent profile audit. Good. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying this. Okay. So Jason Cooper says suggestions on fee. Is that Jason Cooper?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, mate. How you doing? Good to see you. Hadn't seen you for a little
Yes.
while.
Yeah, I just thought I'd nip in and have a little browse and yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. So you're saying just have 2 or 3 up there. Don't have three. The reason why I'm saying this is if you have three, and I showed this at the start of today's session, it really shrinks down the size of them, and it also
It
shrinks
didn't
down.
actually on mine, to be honest. It actually did. It showed the newsletter that I released yesterday, but it also showed another one. But they did look big. But while we've been speaking, I've been deleting all my archive as well. So
Yeah. Now
this one,
having you always, if I just kind of get yours up on here. So let's have Cooper. Where are you? Where are you?
that's it. Yeah.
Here? That's not you.
Yep.
Is that you? Oh, you changed your
Yeah.
profile
Yeah. Yeah.
photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
look at that. It's a
I've
new
got.
profile photo. Look at that. Looking lovely. So here, so you can see, look at this, the size of this
Yeah.
here. What is your value to the client versus the size of this here?
Ah, right. Yeah. Gotcha.
You see what
Gotcha.
I mean? So
Yeah.
what the human eye, and also by having more than three, you're even pushing it further smaller because you've got this scroll piece here,
I've been
right?
deleting a whole load of them since we've been speaking.
So the human eye is
Yeah,
like you give me too many options, I get confused. It's like this like barrage of things, and you'll scroll past it because we're so used to being hammered by lots of little small things. Right. So Happy New Year and welcome to 2026. Like where is that there is no like lead generation strategy, anything around this. It's a nice picture, but really what does it mean? What is it working as hard as something else could do if it was here? Versus if you had your newsletter here, it's a one-click subscribe. So great, we can generate leads. And if you had just your one big call to action, then one, not only can we see it because it's bigger, but two, we also get more of this text in here to actually introduce it. So this is all very cramped up here versus
got
something that's
it.
a
Got it.
little bit more calmer. And the brain just loves like the subconscious mind loves organized, easy to kind of scan stuff and messages that are reinforced. So this is not the first time we've seen this on this profile. We've seen it here, we saw it again here, and now we've seen it here. And so it's that, and also we're seeing it twice here. So join the free community and then join the free community, right? So it's almost like 4 times we've hit that call to action before someone actually can get to here and actually click. And then annoyingly, I love LinkedIn just to force it straight through to the link, but it wants to do the are you sure you want to leave us type piece.
I'll amend and adapt. Thank you
There
for
you
that,
go.
Richard.
Sorry, that
Yeah,
was a
no,
very long
gotcha.
way of doing, but
No,
it's a
no, I've got it.
good way of
I've
us
got it.
recap. No drama. Dalton, my friend.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. The question is just going back onto that. Um, I've got quite a few newsletters on my feature, So are you saying you must delete the old ones to keep the?
Yeah. So you can, if you've only got, and you're not having to delete the actual article, what you want to do is you go to this plus button. That's how you add them, but you go to the pencil button, and this is how you remove them. And all you're doing, so here's the thing: if it's got a delete button here, it means you've created a particular link. So
Right.
you've generated this. So I've gone onto here, and I've gone add link, and this is how I put this call to action link in. So if you're looking to do a call to action, so that is a thing that I've created just for feature section. So I can either delete it or edit it.
Okay.
The thing that it is linking to something like a post or a thing on your profile, etc., it will have a remove from feature, which means that I'm not going to be deleting my LinkedIn newsletter. I'm just removing it from the features section. So
Okay. Right. Thanks very much on that.
no drama. Further questions, gang. I'm sticking around for another 5 minutes or so. So happy to take some more lovely questions. Do remember, just with getting the next question in. Thank you, because my phone has pinged a few times already. So those sessions are already going from the LinkedIn profile order. So I just put the link in there one more time for people to be able to be booking onto that. Great stuff. So let's have how to use photos generated by our AI. So the using photos generated by AI without getting the CR label created by AI, essentially you want to just be using the AI to kind of crop and maybe slightly enhance if you really need to an original photo. So the AI thing that I've created, the header banner I've created, is absolutely fine because we're asking you to upload a header banner. The instructions that I put for the GPT is to not digitally enhance, and modify you. It's just cropping your background and then putting text onto it. So you'll be absolutely fine. There's no problem. If you're going to town, like some of the wonderful pictures that Jason's put together, then something like this potentially could have that. But I don't even know if that's going to be a problem, to be honest with you. I think this would still be fine. It's obviously kind of designed a bit within AI, but I think it's
Richard, I tell you what I did do is I did it in AI and then I edited it and then I saved it as a JPEG so it wouldn't come up with the GPT symbols. That's what I did and got around it.
Oh, I like that. Good hack. So there you go. So basically, create it, screenshot it, chuck it into your photo or image editor, do a little bit of humanating, and then paste it back in. That was a sentence that I didn't have to say 2 years ago. That's for sure. I'm just being cool. Yeah, perfect. Full English, my darling. Sorry, my wife's asking me what do I want to order for breakfast at the hotel. This is hilarious. I love it. Full English, of course. Right. I'm not an animal. I've got to have a proper breakfast. This machine doesn't run on it. Oxygen only. Right. So what else? What else we got? What questions we got, gang? What do we got, man? If you're shooting off, lovely to see you. And a quick plug for my V. Thank you. So Victoria's saying, I always get a useful nugget from these calls, and a quick plug for your VA services. My VA with you is absolutely fabulous and has transformed the quality of my content. Thank you. That's really kind. I'm delighted. Thank you, Victoria. Cool. Into the room. Got questions. Stick your digital hand up if you've got a question. So much easier for me to see. I'm going to keep on trying to scroll through what we've got here, but there's a lot of comments in here. So if anybody's got, even if it's kind of a little bit abstract today, I'm more than happy to take a little bit of a left field question. Anyone who we got? Okay. Further questions, guys? Or unmute if you don't know how to use the hand thing and just ask it. Right. Link to my news article published. No? We all done? Cool. Okay. Diane, go for it.
Okay, a little bit left field, as you said.
Love it.
I have a LinkedIn group that has about 2,000 members. Nobody ever posts anything in there except me, or occasionally new members who are promoting their services. They're usually preaching to the choir because they're trying to sell things that people will already know about. Do you have any thoughts about what I could do to engage that group and find the people that I can actually serve?
Yeah, so LinkedIn groups are something that I think LinkedIn are missing a massive trick here. I really, really do. The problem is they don't put the kind of point that enough emphasis on group posts within your feed. So if you think about, I always say, if you want to know why something's not working, if you're trying some of these featured, do the scroll test, right? So go on to LinkedIn, go on to home, and then LinkedIn's going to show you what are they actually seeing as being important at the moment. So at the moment, my first post is one of my first degree connections. Great. The next post down is an ad, right? Promoted. The next post down is going to be one of my connections sharing a nice post. Then another connection sharing a nice post. And then it's going to be them basically trying to elevate my hiring strategy. So using one of their LinkedIn tools and then an ad. Okay. And so what you'll see is it will even out to be basically one of your first degree connections, an ad, two of your first degree connections, a feature, and then an ad. So basically, it's like a 50% ratio of actually a post versus something that LinkedIn wants to try and sell you or flog you. Nowhere in here you will find a post from a group. You just won't. Job recommendations will be one of the things. There'll be obviously ads, and then there'll be a few other things. So another promoted post in here. Um, yeah? There just isn't. Is there something in here? No, this is promoted post. So here's the problem with it is that you are essentially competing to try and get people into your group first to then get them to go and actually participate in the content. And then people are trying to target that group. So what I would suggest you do is actually try and extract them from LinkedIn as a community into a place like school, which we love school. The reason why school is great is because it's a gamifies engagement. So you can have a leaderboard, you can put prizes out, it kind of pushes notifications, etc. So you're siphoning people off, and of course they go from being someone that's owned by LinkedIn to someone that joins your community. And there are others out there, but we particularly like school. And that then is better for your lead generation strategy. So you better to have 10% of those people in a group in school than the people within the LinkedIn community. That said, getting people into a LinkedIn group actually isn't that hard. When people join it, you'll find you get an organic flow of people. So what I would suggest is at point of entry, make sure that they answer the questions as they come into the group to generate the lead for you, and then tell them, hey, this is a free group on LinkedIn where people hang out if they like LinkedIn, but the juicy stuff happens in our VIP free community over here, or in our free course module. So maybe you wrap it up with a course and a community piece, and then you translate people into that. And that can work really well because you're basically using the group on LinkedIn as the lead generator to then transition them to somewhere where you're actually going to really engage with them. You can then duplicate the content back into the group, no problem at all. But the result is that you're generating the actual ownership of the chat offline.
That's great. Thank you very much. Might I ask just one more question?
Go for it.
I have a network of about 8,000 people, and my posts get usually a fewer than 100 impressions. What am I doing wrong?
Have you done my Brew 360 review?
No, I haven't.
Diane, you're going to love this. Right. Watch this. And again, I've got a free AI tool. Just if you've done this Brew 360 thing and you're on this call here, and give a little bit of feedback in the chat, just if anybody's there, because I think there's been some good thoughts from people that have tried this. But this is so worth doing. Where is it? So LinkedIn Brew 360. So this is a shortened, how much is this? Yeah, eight minutes and a free GPT to review your profile. Basically, LinkedIn updated their algorithm. There you go. It's in the chat now. And it's changed how your profile and your content's being looked. And if you have not aligned to Brew 360, your content will not get that.
Look, the time is here. It's 2026, and everybody talks about.
Sorry.
Get rid of that. I think that I don't know if that was me or you.
I think that was me.
Watch that. It will really help you, and it's got a GPT to be able to show you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Right, guys, I've got to go. I've got a fry up waiting. Healthy, obviously. And I will love you guys and leave you. See you on a LinkedIn audit, or see you next week at LinkedIn for breakfast, Wednesday, 9 a.m. Big love, gang. Take care.